Okay, I hit us with the drum roll. I hit us with the drum roll because I'm trying to wake myself up. And wake myself up. This is the first thing I've done today, all day. I mean, first thing I've done today. I've I've really been zonked. I'm not sure why, but really zonked today. So that said, and there was also, I mean, technical difficulties like you would not believe. Like my computer, well, not my computer, my Wi-Fi in general was out. My my Wi-Fi was out entirely. And to get on the phone with my tech people, talk to them, and so I finally got online, but got online through something else. So I didn't know if it was going to let me do the show because I uploaded the show so early, but it let me upload the show. So here we go. I also do not have my notes, so I'm just going to let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. So all that said, welcome to the Be Your Own Hero Show. I'm your host, I'm Sekou Wrights, and I am a professional creative and a motivational speaker. A motivational speaker. Got two gigs coming up. You'll hear about them shortly. HERO is an acronym that means helping everyone reaps optimism. You see the book, don't you? You see the book, don't you? Yeah, I'm gonna put my book down. And let's see. I gave my intro. Yes, I gave my intro. And yeah. Oh, shout out to New Thought Radio Network. They've done a great job, and they have provided me with what I need to give everyone this opportunity to see what it's like to be a person with recently had stroke and figuring it out as I go. So that's quite a journey, as you can see. And every day I just try it more and more, try it more and more. All right, so I think that's all my intro stuff. No, I am not a personal trainer, nor am I a financial advisor. So take what I give you that gives you something and take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. All right. And good morning, Gladys. Good morning, Gladys. I almost sent you an email last night, Gladys. I'm gonna see your email today. See your email today. I got some things I need to know. Things I need to know. All right, so here we go. Let's get into some money. Let's get into some money. Right? I've got my dice ready to go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Six. Yikes. Six. You know what? I'm just going to put this up here. I'm going to put this up there, meaning that I'm going to put it up there. And if you make the money move, then you make the money move. Like, I'm not going to watch you because I haven't made the $6 move. I'm talking about myself too. Because I haven't made the $6 move from yesterday. I haven't made the $6 move yet. And now I got another $6 move. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do it. But having the pressure here every day will convince you to make your move at some point. At some point. And so that's important because the more we try, the better we get. We end up with an emergency fund. We end up with an emergency fund because for those of you who haven't heard me talk about the emergency fund, let me just say that I got this from David, from Anthony O'Neill, who got it from his person, David O'Neill, I believe. But anyway, the point is to have $1,000 set up, $1,000 set up, available, ready to be spent, and available, and it has to stay there. That's the thing. It's got to stay there. Once you've got $1,000, you've got to let it stay. You can't go in and say, oh, well, I just want to get this TV right quick. No, that money has to stay. That money has to stay there. All right. So setting aside this money, the $6 here, $6 there, will better prepare you when you do it small. Because no one's going, just go ahead and move $1,000. Like, well, maybe. I should not say that for everyone, but If you're going to just move $1,000, hey, that's great. But if you're going to do it small, it comes easier. It comes easier. All right, so that's that. I did my little $6. Now let's talk about money. Let's talk about money because I'm still excited about the book. As you saw, I was just holding the book. So I'm going to talk about the book and talk a little bit about what's going on with me towards the end. Let's get to this book. So the book is 80 Proven Ways to Become a Millionaire. All you need is two to three. All you need is 2 to 3. 80 ways to become a multi-millionaire. Oh, just a millionaire. Sorry, just a millionaire. Right. Now you can see this is not a fancy production, not fancy at all. Right. And I think that has to do with the lack of promotion that has been given towards the book because I've done some research. I would look to see what was about this book available on YouTube. I found one video. One video. That's crazy. That's crazy. If you look for anything on YouTube, you get hundreds of posts. Hundreds of posts. I found one thing that was really significant. One thing, and the one thing I found was old. It's old, like it showed one picture, just one picture, the whole time. Man, that's crazy. So I say that to say that this book doesn't seem to have been marketed well for what it is. For what it is, because the information is gold. The information is gold. So for those of you that were watching yesterday, what did I talk about yesterday? Because I did a pre-recorded show. Oh, yes. So I just told briefly that a small part of all I earn is mine to keep. A small part of all I earn is mine to keep. Now I talked about that yesterday, so I'm not gonna come back to that just yet. But let me talk about what the other things that we started with, because that was chapter 2. That was at chapter 2, right? Let's go back to chapter 1, shall we? Shall we? Okay, because there's some serious stuff. All right, listen to this, and this is an old book, mind you, in terms of years. So whatever the issues were then, they've gotten worse now. They've gotten worse now. But I'm reading what he said. 80% of Americans have not had 1 hour of financial education. Yes, 80% of Americans have not yet had 1 hour of financial education. I don't know why I'm having trouble enunciating the words. 80% of people have not had an hour's worth of financial education. 80%. 80% have not had 1 hour financial education. That's like watching 2 of this show, 2 episodes of this show twice. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But when you think about it, you recognize that that's why everyone is doing the same steps, following the same steps. And we think they're doing well because we're following those same steps. But once we start understanding the money, we start understanding that they are making the wrong steps, right? Because once you follow the rules, once you start following the rules of the real money rules, you'll see that what you're encouraged to do are not things that you're supposed to do. Okay, that didn't come out right. What I'm trying to say is that the way you are directed to move with your money is not what you really want to do with your money if you want to become wealthy. If you want to become wealthy. Now, some of you may not want to become wealthy, but talking to me, I think you do. I think you do. Because being wealthy it gives you freedom. It gives you freedom. It gives you freedom, lets you move whatever in whichever way you want to move. Right? Okay. All right. So 80% of people have not had 1 hour of financial education. That's mind-boggling. That means 80% of people are doing the wrong thing when it comes to money. Right? And let's see. 70% of households go through debt needlessly, right? And wait a minute. 80% of success is determined by whom you marry, right? 80% of success is determined by on whom you marry. So you got to make sure that their money is tight too, right? But that 80% really struck me. It really struck me. And let me read you this. Only 3% of Americans have financial goals. 3% of Americans have financial goals. 3% of Americans have financial goals. Now, that hit me. And that should hit you too, because that means that most of us, 97% of us, are waiting for something to happen. Some magic pixie dust, some pixie dust to be blown into our way that's going to magically create wealth for us. No, no, it's not going to work like that. You have got to decide to be wealthy. Wealthy. Not just enough to get by. No, you got to decide to be wealthy. And you've got to decide what amount, like a specific amount, like have a goal, have a goal, have a goal. Don't just wait for the pixie dust to come wafting through your life. Wealth is not just going to come wafting through your life. You have to decide. You have to decide. It takes us back to 80%. Like people aren't studying money. Even if they got a good job, most people are living check to check. Most people live from check to check. Most people are not figuring out ways to go beyond. Living well, check to check though. Check to check. Just, got everything together, but living check to check. Living check to check. So I think that those are very important. If you just remember a couple of things, remember that 80% of Americans have not had 1 hour of financial education. 80%. So if you've been watching the show, you've been doing more than the usual. Right. And 3% have financial goals. I'm saying this again because even some of you are nodding your head. You're not really agreeing with me. Like you've got to have a financial goal, like an actual goal. What is your financial goal? Not just just have more money. What is your specific goal? What is your specific goal? So for a lot of people, it could be create your emergency fund. It could be that. For some people, it could be paying off debt. It could be anything related to a financial goal. Financial goal. Having a hard, specific goal will help you out. Help you out. So those were two things that really stood out for me from chapter 1. Those really stood out for me from chapter 1. Now back to chapter 2. I wanted to go back to 2 because there's, well, I don't know if I should talk about that yet because, well, yeah, I guess I will. Even though I don't understand it yet. There's called a rule of 72. A rule of 72. So the rule of 72, now that I've mentioned it, your filter, what do I call that? The filter randomizer. Well, the part of your brain that automatically finds things once they've been mentioned will find it for you. You will suddenly hear people start mentioning the rule of 72 because I've mentioned it. So when you find out, let me know what it means. but was developed. This was developed by Albert Einstein. Einstein, yes, that Einstein. And so he says that in every 15%, your money doubles about every 8 years, every 5 years. Now I don't really understand it yet, but I understand the math. I understand the math. So if by some age, no, not some age, if you were given $5,000 as a child, you were given $5,000 as a child, and you just kept it. That's it. $5,000 set aside for the child, and that's it. That's all the investment you ever made for that child. All the investment you ever made. You did not make one single more additional income. Oh, although you must have been invested it in a place that has compounding interest. So like the stock market, because it has compounding interest, right? Well, listen to this. At birth, $5,000, right? Let me just pick a random number. By 20 years old, that $5,000 will be $80,000. $80,000. Let's see. How about later? How about 25 years old? 60. I'm sorry. 1,060. 1,060. It doubled itself from 80 between 20 and 25. It doubled itself. Went from 8,000 to 160,000. Right? 35,000, 640,000. What? 45,000, 1.2 million. And at the age 45, 2.5 million. 2.5 million. Now, that just reminds me of Dave Ramsey talking about investing in what you have to offer sooner. Like, you got to start investing soon. And believe you me, I'm starting late. I'm starting late in life. But knowing how that money could have won makes me hungry for what I can do now. Because 5 years, so 5 years, 10 years, so that'll be that $5,000 will become $10,000. That's all right. That's all right. $10,000 if you put aside $5,000 now, right? So there's just so many ways you can do this. And I also mentioned this book. Oh, what's the name of the book? What's the name of the book? The name of the book. Hold on. I want to get the name of the book right. All right. The book, The Richest Man in Babylon. The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. Now, I got to tell you, I went and I found the book, and I found it very difficult to read. Given my current, I'm sorry, I was trying to remember that word that sometimes people are, I can't even remember any of it. So sometimes people, aphasia, yes, aphasia. So sometimes people with strokes have aphasia, right? So in terms of my aphasia, trying to read that book, it's very difficult for me. It's very difficult for me. It's kind of like the Bible in terms of the density. And so it's very difficult for me to read it. But it's good. It's good. And so, what did I say? I forgot where I was going. Oh yeah, so the book. So the book is The Richest Man in Babylon, and I am going to have to find out if there's a translated version of it, a translated version of the book. But I see how the man is young, but he's not a child. He's young, and he's trying to figure out, like, why are they rich and we're not. We're doing all the things. We're doing all the things correctly. Why aren't people, wealthy wealthy people, suddenly gifting us with money? Gifting us with money, right? Because it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. No one was going to blow fairy dust into your life. You've got to decide. You've got to make a financial decision. You've got to make a financial decision. You've got to make a financial decision. It's not just going to come floating. Floating. Nothing's going to happen by happenstance. You have to decide. You have to decide. All right. All right. So that's what I got. That's what I got. And this is just like the first 22 pages. This is the first 22 pages of this book. So fasten your seatbelts because this book is going to take us some places. Take some places. Okay. Up. All right. B is saying she agrees, she concurs. Thank you for my financial contribution. All right. All right. So let's see, what do I want to talk about today? So I mentioned that oh man, I meant to pull it up. Well, maybe I can do it. No, maybe I'll talk about it today and I'll show it tomorrow. But I mentioned the turnaround because I gave this gift of this woman of helping her carry her luggage of fresh fruit and water and everything. And yesterday was her Monday was her birthday, and she gave me $20, and I've been grappling with it since. And I recognize that I have not been unwilling to help. Like, I don't know. It's interesting how we see ourselves, right? Because I haven't chosen to help in certain ways, like I've thought of different ways I haven't helped people. So I know that was a very, very disarming sentence. So what I mean is, I have given, and as a matter of fact, when I was here for the Thanksgiving, for the marathon, I was giving out money from where I was sitting. I was sitting at a restaurant outdoors, and this person came by and he asked me for help. And I came up, got out my seat, came out the front door, and gave him food. So it's not about not giving people stuff. It's remembering that I am giving people stuff when I have it to give. So anyway, my point is, she gave me $20, and I divided that $20 up, and I had the money down. I had the money divided in order to give me some money to spend, and some money to save, and some money to give to my church. So let me do it for you again. So I had them divide the money, and I had them give me a 10, a 5, and 5 ones. The 5 ones have devolved to $20 for me, and $20 and $2 for me, and $2 for my my I'm sorry, I'm hearing the traffic going on and wondering what's happening out there. But anyway, so the two funds are set aside separately. So I was able to give a $10 bill and a $5 bill to people in waiting. And I was able to do that. I was able to give 2 people random amounts of money. And they were both like, what? Like, they were surprised that I wasn't giving them $1. Right? They seemed surprised, and they're like, "Whoa!" One I gave him $1, one I gave him $10, and one I gave him $5. And so Fee King took a picture of one. She had told she's fast with a camera. I didn't even know she took a picture, but she took a picture of one of them. That's what I want to show you. And yeah, and he was shocked. He was shocked because I gave more than what one would typically give. All right, so that leaves me with the $2 for me and the $2 for the church, right? And that's still enough to keep some of what I was saying, because that's a lesson from the book about I can keep a part of what I earn. I can keep a part of what I earn. Okay, so all that said, I got to move on to this. Fees Fitness over 40 is doing her thing. She's doing a 10-day challenge. And so you can just join by going to Fees Fitness in 40 on social media. Fees Fitness, what is it? Wait a minute, for Instagram is Fees Fitness in 40. I mean, I think that's right. I don't know. You know, sometimes you have things memorized, and so you just type them. You type the first 3 letters. So I'm pretty sure it's Fees Fitness over 40. I think. Let me make sure. Yes. So go to fee.com. That's what Fees telling me. Go to fees.com. FEE hyphen. Wait a minute. FEE-KING.com. Yes. Just go there. And that'll take you to everything you need to know. All right. So you can go and check it out. Get your fitness on. I know you missed your first caption. What's the thing called when you have you predict you're going to do something all year and then you don't make it through January 1, through the first month of January, you don't make it. Well, now you can get back to it. You can do your thing. There's 2 more days. 2 more days to join this feast of reality of cooking things up. So, resolution. Thank you, Glass. Resolution. Yeah, I know you've given up your resolution, so now you get your resolution back. All right. So join the fitness group, and it's you pay by donation. So, you know, no excuse. All right. Well, I think that's it. All right. So, yeah, I'm just watching all the chat coming. Lots of chat going on. But I think I'm just going to sign out. All right. Thanks for being here. Thanks for spending some time with me today and letting me talk to you about this book. And if you haven't already, you can buy this book on Amazon. It's about $10. All right. I will see you here mañana. Let's see. I'll see you here mañana.